All right, Shalom, call all y'all about Shion Shah. Shalom to the left. This is another video. I'm going to speak on the topic about that movie, Till. Now, if you're familiar with the scenario, I actually asked some people recently too, like, have they ever heard of that? A lot of younger people now, they never even heard of that event, man. Hold on. Trying to grab something real quick. Yeah, man, they never even heard of that event. So, you know, if you haven't watched it, hey, go check it out so you can get a little visual of it. Anyway, basically what I want to talk about is that and other various topics, how people forgot where the fuck we was at. Like, all the stuff Esau do, all the names, the jokes, the harassment, the mental abuse. Shit, they be talking about mental health. Hey, a lot of people fucked up and have mental health because of Esau read that. That's what really, when you go to the root of the problem. Let me see. What else is some of these videos I got? I ain't gonna play no clips from the movie because I know they're gonna strike the channel, but some of this stuff, I'm gonna play this later real quick. Just to back up why people forgot where they at and who's over there.
Now at 6 o'clock, this local veteran turns to the I-Team and provides this video as he accuses a Jacksonville police task force officer of racial profiling in a traffic stop last week. He recorded the first few minutes of the encounter on his cell phone camera. Braxton Smith says police searched him and his car.
And he contends he was illegally detained and questioned for more than 30 minutes before being let go. The I-Team's Tarek Miner is joining us now after taking the video to a local attorney with questions about whether Smith's rights were violated. Tarek?
Well, Smith is also taking issue with the fact that JSO task force members stopped his cell phone video from recording while searching his vehicle, he says, without his consent. He says he wants answers and he wants the officers held accountable. Did you ask them why are they pulling you over?
Numerous times.
And what'd they say?
They never really gave an explanation.
Navy veteran Braxton Smith says he still doesn't know why he was handcuffed, searched, and questioned the Wednesday before Thanksgiving by officers with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office's task force off of Brentwood Avenue.
I'm no longer down in Florida right now, but this area right here, let me go back to it. I know exactly where the fuck he was at too.
Braxton Smith says he still doesn't know why he was handcuffed, searched, and questioned the Wednesday before Thanksgiving by officers with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office's
this area over here, man.
Task Navy veteran Braxton Smith says he still doesn't know why he was handcuffed, searched, and questioned the Wednesday before Thanksgiving by officers with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office's task force off of Brentwood Avenue.
You might have a nice car or some shit like that. He's so mad. They driving a fucking putt-putt and you don't work. This guy, he was a veteran, so to speak, so he don't did some type of military tour. He saw right around a putt-putt and they mad as fuck. They want to come harass you. You might have a new fucking Escalade or damn Navigator truck or some shit like that and they see you in there, they want to fuck with you, but see how people forgot where we at, man. That's just because we have these goodies and these gifts and all this shit like that. Man, Esau be ready to take that shit away at any moment. Let me go to this real quick. Let me see. Let's see this preset. Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. So you see how people, man, they get these goodies, like primarily, especially when that money came out, they was giving out all them loans and all that stimulus shit. Man, people forgot where the fuck we at, man. Who was giving that shit out?
Avenue. Smith says police pulled him over shortly after he was speaking with a man he knew in a parking lot of this nearby convenience store. He says officers were aggressive from the very start.
There's a movie too I was talking about. It was different kind of in the Midwest because, you know, more people was mingling and what they call it, integrating, or whatever. Maybe be saying the term wrong. And mixing together and all that stuff. So you have people working for each other, working with each other. When you go down south, though, that shit's still segregated. And in the actual movie, though, the lady, his mother told him that shit. Like, look, when you go down there, it ain't like how it is up here, but like how people do. Forget where the fuck they be at. He went down there and shit happened. But, you know, I ain't gonna give away the full movie. You go check that shit out.
Before eventually finding no crime and letting him go.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
It's off.
Hands out the window.
I'm gonna take you to this screen.
Put your hands out the window.
Don't move. I ain't moving. What's up? Can you unlock it? Huh? Reach right there. Man, just reach right there.
You keep your freaking hands out the window and shut your mouth. I'll figure it out.
Smith says he was put into handcuffs, thrown on the ground, and searched by officers. One who was heard on video asking Smith about drugs.
You have a medical marijuana card, sir?
Smith says he did not resist and followed the officer's orders. He says he did not give the officers permission to search his car, and he claims his back was injured during what he thought was his arrest.
It made me feel humiliated. You know, like someone for myself, like myself, I'm a veteran. You know, I went to college, I've served this country, been a part of something bigger than myself. And I do things like that to try to shield myself from this kind of stigma, but it still manages to follow me.
Roughly 3 minutes into the incident,
Esau don't care about that shit. Talking about, oh, I'm a veteran. Esau don't give a fuck that you. You don't care if you fought for this place, man. If you look, it's different like documentaries. I want to say, damn, what was it? With the Swiss Army and stuff. A lot of people that left here actually went and fought over there for the French and was fighting over there because Esau wasn't treating them right over here. But the ones that end up staying over here, they come back home, right back to the same shit, man. They didn't care if you was no warrior, no veteran, or you had medals and all that shit, man.
that officer then lets his colleagues know the interaction was caught on camera.
Live. You know, I was scared, like, from beginning to end, but once I heard him say live, I figured he was talking about my phone. It was racial profiling from beginning to end.
But let's be clear, he was arrested, and they better have had a reason.
This guy, a veteran, he talking about he was scared. See, Esau do the same shit, man.
To put those handcuffs on him, or else the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is going to have a lot to answer for.
Defense attorney G. Nichols, who's not associated with the case, viewed the video and says while he doesn't know what transpired before the phone started recording, he questions why Smith was handcuffed and why his car was searched.
If this is unlawful, it was unlawful at the moment of the initial detention, which were the arms out the window, and then the arrest when he got handcuffed there on the side of the road. And somebody's going to have to explain at some point in time, probably to a judge, or at least to some lawyers, as to why they took the actions that they did.
News for Jackson.
So he probably more than likely he's gonna get a case. He get a good lawyer, win that shit. But that's the stuff you have to go through dealing with Esau society, man. And then you have our people that try to be like, well, I wanna support black businesses and all that. Nigga, ain't no black money. Like, hey, it ain't even about, it ain't just the color thing, because we not fucking black anyway, we brown. But all that black business shit, that's a joke. Because either way it go, who control the central bank? We don't control no central bank. So in order for us to really thrive how we supposed to, man, we just gotta get put back in our own land, like the scripture said. I'm gonna let this video play too, right? It's another man shit.
I love trying to find my contact lenses without my contact lenses.
With the 20
Buckingham Palace.
Alright, so the book of Joel. Let me see. Start at verse. There's in the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, and they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. When you go down some more. In verse 6, it says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians, that he might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of a place whether you have sold them and will return your recompense upon your own head. And our people got to get delivered, man. We got to get up out of here. As much as we do business and all that other stuff, we're not going to, like I said, we're not going to be able to be on top. Give a fuck how many black businesses you set up. You still got to deal with the central bank. And Esau run the central bank, primarily Amalek. Them Italian Houthis. That's who run that shit. Our people not own the money. Then the currency's not backed by gold anyway. So ain't no way in the world we're gonna be able to just get on top like that. Till we actually really get our own land, own system, all that stuff. In verse 8 it says, and I will sell your sons, your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. They shall sell them to the Sabians, to people far off. For out of one has spoken it. And this is gonna happen. Look, ain't nobody pay for none of this stuff yet, but they gonna pay them. And all that. It wasn't me. It was my great-great-grandfather. All that bullshit. That shit don't mean nothing. But it do mean this right here though. Let me see. Let me go to it real quick. Let me find this. This book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. We just leave it up to Esau. They cut down all the trees, dry up all the fucking water. They already melt in the Arctic, talking about global warming, but you ain't hear that from me. But they're doing all this stuff around the world and fucking the ecosystem up just to build cities, roads, put pavement down all over the place, moving the animals from their natural habitat and putting them in zoos and shit, moving them from like cutting down the areas where they dwell at so they move to another habitat as well. That's why you see certain animals in the cities and shit. They don't supposed to be in those cities. But leave it up to Esau, they'll fill this world with cities, but the Most High not gonna allow that though. Let me see. Let me let this play some more. Let me let this video. Now you had this. She's supposed to be a royal aide, right? And still get treated like shit. And our people be forgetting, man. They get little goodies, little position, and they be forgetting, man, who Esau is, what their natural spirit is, what their natural intentions be. And they can't really help it. That's just who they are.
Has issued a formal apology following remarks made by a senior member of the royal household in a conversation with a black guest at a palace reception. Lady Susan Hussey is godmother to Prince William and served as lady-in-waiting to the late Queen. At a gathering hosted by the Queen Consort, Lady Hussey repeatedly challenged this woman, Ngozi Fulani, a charity founder, to say where she and her people were really from. Ms. Fulani tried to explain several times that she was a British national by birth. The palace described Lady Hussey's remarks as unacceptable.
See, this is another thing too. History, they try to throw this shit out the window and sweep it on the rug, so to speak. Great Britain, before it was even really called that, Britain, or Germany, Scotland, Ireland, them different areas. And you mentioned, or you do your homework about the Dark Ages and stuff like that. Our people's ruling over there. They try to play this little game and make it seem like, oh, the Europeans, Europe, before they actually really got over there like that, our people really set up over there. Whenever we would flee from Jerusalem, either our people would go further east or they'll go towards the west. And they'll settle wherever they end up at and do what they do. Then how Esau do, man, let me get that matter of fact. So now that I'm thinking about it, this is what Esau like to do, because they can't help themselves. The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse. me see. This book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 41, it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that same spirit they had back then, they got that same shit now. So any chance they get, people be like, why the cops be gunning us down and all? This why, read it right here, it's right here. Plain right. They hate the fact of how we are. Even in the lower state, they hate how we are. We're not even in the top royal state how we supposed to be. But even in the conditions that we be in, they still have this perpetual hatred. Now I said, let me see. Verse 42 says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, that she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, our brother Esau is touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise, flee thou to Lebanon, my brother to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away, till thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you, both in one day? But see, Esau ain't never turned away that fury. He ain't never stopped being pissed off. So even that same spirit back then just trickled down to his descendants, and so on and so on. And everywhere we go, this going back into what I was talking about our people leaving Jerusalem and fleeing, going to different areas. Wherever we go at, they follow right behind us. Like that's, if all our people right now, you just say you got all these celebrities or whatever, not because this shit not gonna happen, but just throwing out an idea. These celebrities with all this money and all these millions of dollars or whatever, be like, you know what? We finna, I want to say the guy Marcus Garvey did it, or try to do it. We finna get these boats, these planes, we finna pack up all that shit, and we finna go to another area and reestablish ourselves. Do you know Esau gonna follow us over there, or they gonna try to make sure we don't go over there? They got the same spirit, man. That shit not going nowhere till the Most High make it go somewhere. And our people, they forgot where we at and who ruling over us.
And deeply regrettable, and said that she had stepped aside with immediate effect. Another guest at the reception said that Lady Hussey's comments had been offensive, racist and unwelcoming. A spokesperson for Prince William, responding to the incident, said that racism has no place in our society. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell has the latest.
Buckingham Palace yesterday afternoon, a reception to highlight the issue of violence against women hosted by the Queen Consort. Standing next to Camilla here and with her back to the camera was Ngozi Fulani. She's chief executive of Sister Space and a prominent advocate for survivors of domestic abuse. Also at the reception was Lady Susan Hussey. On the left here, she was a lady-in-waiting to the late Queen Elizabeth for more than 60 years and is a senior member of the royal household. According to Miss Fulani, the following conversation took place between the two women. Lady Susan Hussey, where are you from? Miss Fulani, Sister Space. No, where do you come from? We're based in Hackney. No, what part of Africa are you from? I don't know.
And see, then that whole, let me go to this. That whole myth about Africa being a motherland, for one, that land wasn't even called Africa. You had Kush, Ham, I want to say it was Put, Mitzrayim, Ethiopia. That land wasn't called no Africa till Rome conquered it. But our people don't research and do no homework, so they won't really know that. They still use that term. And then the name Africa comes from the person that conquered, because that's what Esau do. Wherever they conquer, they put their name on the place. That's why you had Columbia, Columbus, Roosevelt, shit like that. Washington, wherever they go at, they put their name on it. So you have to actually get back to the original name. Let me see. So I want to get. the book of Galatians chapter 4 and verse. See, I want to start that. It says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all, because our people come from over in that region. So much happened over there in that part of the world. That's why they fight over there. And they're not really fighting over Africa like that. They go down there, you know, they go take the resources and gold and silver and all that. They don't really have to fight like that. They go do their partnerships and their deals and stuff like that. They're not fighting over no fucking Japan and or some other areas. Iran, they're not fighting over no Greenland and those Scotland and shit like that. They fighting over Jerusalem. That's because they know. They know about that area. They know who really come from the area too. I remember I met this woman some years back, and she was from over there. She was telling me a bunch of stuff like, you know, a lot of people that actually do have some of the artwork, artifacts, and different stuff like that. And she showed me some pictures how King Solomon was actually looking, which he was dark skinned, as the scriptures mention. He said, "I'm black and comely." And locks is like, what is it, like black as a raven video? Let me get that because I don't want to butcher it. Let me get that real quick.